Good evening, sim racing and NASCAR fans alike, to the Rockingham Speedway live right here on the Sim Racing Network, the iRacing Esports Network, and on the Joe Gibbs Racing Facebook page. I am Ben Kilcrease. John Mushin Jr. will be joining me in the broadcast booth tonight, and the champ, Mitch Rollo, going to be getting the picture that you see to you. Here we go, John. It's race number one in the Joe Gibbs Racing Off-Season Sim Series powered by Interstate batteries, and the fans have voted for a fan favorite we've known for a long time now, The Rock here in North Carolina.
I'll tell you what, Ben, this is absolutely one of my favorite tracks to run on in iRacing, and I've never been to it in real life, but I've heard it's a blast to do some laps on real life as well. Lots of excitement tonight. This will be a fantastic race to watch. We've got the Cup cars zipping around this thing at a little under 23 seconds for the pole speed so far, so we are in for one heck of a show tonight.
That we are. A lot of the top sim racing drivers in all of the world have converged here at the Rock to do battle in the race number one for the Joe Gibbs Racing Off-Season Sim Series powered by Interstate batteries. And as we prepare, John, we've been to Rockingham before on the Sim Racing Network. We know what this track is like. It's very old, it's very weathered, it's bumpy, it eats tires for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's going to be a race of attrition tonight. Tire saving mode is going to be key when it comes down to the later stages of this 100-lap event.
Absolutely, and I'm calling it now, Ben, Calamity Quarter. That's going to be turn number 2, exit off. As we've both seen in the past, especially with the Sim 500 League in the past, it narrows up for some strange reason. Now all the cars want to go to one spot right there, come out of 2, and when you've got more than one car, maybe a guy on the inside trying to complete a pass, crazy things happen.
That it does. So we'll have to watch turn 2. Also watch turn 1. Everybody has a different braking zone, different braking area as they enter turn number 1 here at the Rock. Let's take a look at the Fast Track Sims track facts tonight here at the Rockingham Speedway, located in Marks Creek Township, North Carolina. Just over 1 mile is the distance around the speedway. It opened back in 1965 with 12 degrees of banking down in the turns. John, it seats about 34,500 fans. Tonight we go 100 laps, which is 100 miles with the fixed setups. Everybody on the same setup. It evens out the playing fields with the double file restarts. Going to make for some awesome racing a little bit later on in the night as we get set to drop the green flag here in just a couple of minutes.
You're absolutely right there, Ben. As Boris said in the Joe Gibbs pre-race show, fixed setups means no adjustments on these cars other than how many tires you take and how much fuel you take, and not even how much, it's whether you take it or not. So, these guys, it's a challenge to run fixed setup racing, but it really brings out the driver in iRacing. And to me, you got to control that car, you got to control your tire wear, and usually those that are good at that dominate towards the end.
That they do, as we are just moments away now from the green flag here at Rockingham Speedway. We thank you for tuning in out there, wherever you're tuning in from, whether it be our personal or our Facebook page on the Sim Racing Network, or our YouTube, or the iRacing Esports Network YouTube page, or the Joe Gibbs Racing Facebook page. We thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to having you along for the 100-mile event tonight here at Rockingham Speedway. John, as we get set to go green, let's run the fans through the starting lineup presented by RacingBids.com. Inside, row number 1, Trey Edson. He set a blistering fast time in qualifying with a 22.581. He'll lead us to the green flag. And then number 10 to his outside, the number 75, that is Parker Kligerman.
And coming up there in third place with a 22.7, Brian V. Macklin in the 30 car. And outside of him, the 66 will be Tony Monge.
Tommy Ryan will be inside of row number 3, and the number 99 to his outside, the 82, that is Chad Cole.
Coming in at 7th, Anthony M. Calantoni. 8th, the 88, my personal favorite, of Jason Jacoby.
Donnie Leah will roll off 9th, and Chad Coleman will round out the top 10 as the rest of the RacingBids.com starting grid will roll across the bottom of your screen. The field rolls off the grid, John, on the front stretch here, and we're just a couple laps away from dropping that oh-so-beautiful shade of emerald, flying it through the air and letting these cars roar off into turn number 1 and 2 here at Rockingham Speedway. What we're going to see these first couple laps, John?
Nothing but excitement, Ben. I'm telling you right now, fans, if you're at home watching, if you ain't got a seatbelt, grab some duct tape and strap yourself in tight, because it's going to be exciting. We've been watching these Sim 500 guys for weeks now. a really good bunch of drivers, really great bunch of guys. But Rockingham, it has no favorites. It plays no favorites. So it's going to test these guys from the drop, from the get-go on the green flag. What I predict we see going into turn one is chaos and mayhem there, Ben.
We'll see what happens as the field paces their way through 3 and 4. It's Trey Edson and Parker Kligerman on row number 1 here at the Rock as we get set to go racing. Pace car is going to pull to pit road. They'll stack them up 2 by 2 by 2. Race number 1 in the JGR Off-Season Sim Series powered by Interstate Batteries is underway.
Edson stuck one on him right there. He pulled off a really good lead there, going down to 1 to give himself some space between himself and Kligerman in second place there. Behind Kligerman, you got the 30 of Brian Macklin, and then Tony Monge bringing it up 4th, but he's got a challenger down to his inside of the 9-9, Tommy Ryan.
Tommy Ryan going to get that 4th position away from Monge, at least for the time being, as they work down the front straightaway. John, as this track heats up and takes rubber down on that bottom groove, the outside groove may start to become more prevalent later in this race, and that's something we'll have to watch out for as we're already clean green. Lap number 1 goes to Trey Edson, followed by Parker Kligerman, followed by Brian Macklin.
Yeah, we saw that with the K&N cars a few weeks back there, Ben. The top line came in about halfway through the run, but some guys found themselves up there involuntarily by just driving into one a little too hard, as we saw, I believe, the 82 car do a second ago.
And we have so single file for the most part, and to no surprise there, John, it's really hard to go double file, not so much down in 3 and 4, but 1 and 2, just because turn 2 tightens up so much. It really gets tight. Here we go, up front. Here comes Parker Kligerman looking to the inside of Trey Edson. Edson going to slam the door in his face off of down into turn number 1, rather, and Kligerman has to straighten himself back out, get his thoughts back together, and he'll try again over in 3 and 4.
I think that's an eye-opener for Parker right there. He knows these guys are not going to cut him any slack on this track. As a 10 car shuts the door on him again, he's going to ask himself right now, how bad does he want to get in that lead right now? It's very early in the race. We've got so many more laps to go. How bad does he want to push the issue with the 10 car right now?
How bad does he want it? I think he wants it pretty bad as he sees Brian Macklin closing in on him. Look at the top 4. Tail to nose as they work through corners number 3 and 4. To the back straightaway, it's to the front straightaway rather. Trey Edson continues to lead here at Rockingham, but he's followed closely by Parker Kligerman, and the first caution of the night will fly here in race number 1, and it's for an incident on the front straightaway involving the number 44 of Glenn Campbell. We're working on the replay, and it was the 47 machine got loose down low, and Campbell just tried to fit in the middle, and up and into the wall hard he goes, bringing out the first caution of the night. He gets hit by a few other machines there. First caution of the night, 44 and a couple other cars involved on lap number 5 here at the Rock.
Yeah, there's a lot of heavy damage to the 44 and the 47. I believe the 21 was the other car that was involved there. I couldn't tell. But these guys are going to duck in the pits and see if they can get it fixed. But, man, these I tell you what, that 44 has no front end left. He looks like a modified now.
And we are. So we'll see as we get the field going again. Everybody going to look to come to pit road this time, John. That's not surprising. About 5 laps on the tires. Plenty of time to get some wear going, especially with here at the Rock with the age this track has. So everybody comes down pit road. Now the next thing, John, is who's going to take 2 tires versus who's going to take 4. Maybe some strategy coming into play early on. We'll find out.
Yes, sir, we will. I'd be surprised if somebody taking 2 tires on Rockingham. It's I don't know, man. Anytime I come in, I want 4. I want 4 fresh ones right here and now.
So John wants 4 fresh ones. I want 4 fresh Goodyear tires. But some of the other guys think different. As Kligerman going to win the race off of pit road. Tommy Ryan will gain some spots. Brian Macklin, he'll stay the same. But Trey Edson, the big loser there on this first round of pit stops, he falls back to 4th, and Johnny came in with the lead.
Yeah, that's going to be what we see all day long, I think, is gambling with tires. And, I mean, it looked like I had a smooth stop there. So I don't think he had any problems on pit road. I just think that some guys like Kligerman and the other ones only took 2 tires. So I guess we're going to see how it works out for him.
That we will. Let's look at the vehicle we're driving at tonight with tonight's Interstate Batteries Look at the Car. It's the Toyota Camry NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series machine. 750 plus horsepower. That's a lot here at the Rock, only being 1 mile. The 4-speed manual transmission. These drivers on the iRacing service, they have to go through all the gears. They restart in second, have to make their way up through third and fourth. The bodywork is made out of steel, and you got the carbon fiber hood and deck lid there. Wheelbase 110 inches and 3,300 pounds. Approximate is the weight of these NASCAR stock cars. Lights are off here on the iRacing.com Ford Mustang pace car as we get set to restart the race for the first time tonight. It'll be on lap number 991. Laps remain from the North Carolina 1 mile high banked. Almost call it a super speedway because I get mixed up. The banks are so high here at Rockingham. Nonetheless, though, we're set for a restart here with Parker Kligerman in control of the field. The green flag is back in the air. We're back underway in the Joe Gibbs Racing Off-Season Sim Series powered by Interstate Batteries.
Kligerman got him a good start, but not quite the one we had. The green flag drop. The 99 was able to hang with him a little bit there, but the 99 is going to give up that second spot. And it looks like we're going to go back to just 4 cars, nose to tail, but back behind them from 5th on back, we got 2 by 2.
And we do, and the first car making a move there is the number 66 machine of Tony Mangi. He'll make his way to the top 5, and in the battle behind him, you see Jason Jacoby up in the number 88 machine, working the top side of the racetrack. And that number 82 on the inside, that's Chad Cole. They'll race side by side, 1 car out of shape behind him. He's going to keep it straight for the most part, and we stay green.
I tell you what, Jacoby's fighting hard for that.
Oh, look out.
Out of shape going down the infield there.
That's Justin Fuller. Yeah, Justin Fuller in the 00. We'll have to watch him coming back up the track. He makes it back up clean and green. So, close call there for Jacoby on the outside. A good save by Fuller, but he did some landscaping in the process. No problem there for as far as the racing goes. Back up front, it's a challenge for the lead. Here comes Brian Macklin to the inside of Parker Kligerman, challenging for the lead on lap number 13.
Oh, it's going to narrow up real fast right there, coming off the 2. They got into each other a little bit, but no major damage, no harm, no foul. Kligerman's fighting back on the outside, but look at this. The 99 and 10 want to come up and make themselves a part of this battle.
Boy, Macklin sent it off into 3 there, didn't he? He really wants this lead bad, but Kligerman, with that outside momentum from the top side of the racetrack, is holding on to it, at least for now. Watch him off turn 2. Look how tight they are. There's contact between the front 2 up at the front.
That's the second time they've banged fenders there. And look at it. Look this bottleneck behind them, the 10, the 99, the 66. They're all fighting with each other there for pretty much the same exact spot. Meanwhile, back up front, it looks like the 75 of Kligerman still fighting on the outside to maintain that lead.
He's not going to give it up easy, and it's really costing him some time. And finally, Macklin is able to clear the number 75 off of turn number 2. Kligerman drops back to second. Brian Macklin takes the lead. But here comes Kligerman right back to his rear bumper over in turn number 3. Macklin gets the better run off of turn 4. Top 4 still tail to nose as they work down the front stretch and into turn number 1, working lap number 16 of 100, closing in on that 1/4 mark already.
There is no quarter given right now. These guys are really duking it out. It looks like they're going to string it out a little bit up front, first and fourth, excuse me. But back there in 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, we're still duking it out 2 wide, 3 wide sometimes. It's exciting.
A lot of it's excitement all around the 1 mile speedway here at Rockingham in North Carolina. If you're looking to get into iRacing.com, first you get your subscription. Just head over to iRacing.com. And then if you want to join a league, visit thesim500.com. You can find a league from anywhere from the beginners all the way up to the professionals. As we have another battle for the lead, you'll see a lot of these drivers on the track now in Sim 500 competition, racing just like they do right here. Challenging for the lead is Parker Kligerman over Brian Macklin, and he'll clear him. He made quick work of the number 30 machine there, John.
Yeah, he timed that pass perfectly coming off the 2. Got the perfect little run. Cut her left and make that inside move, and I tell you what, I think he just made a I think he made a statement right there, Ben. I think he's he's here to win. He's not here to mess around.
Most definitely. Early leader Trey Edson sits back in 4th. Just riding there, John, at least for now. It looks as Looks like he's comfortable where he's at. No need to get in a rush this early on. Haven't even made the quarter mark of the race yet. Working lap number 19 of 100. Edson, I know the driver behind that number 10 machine, and he is cool, calm, and collected. He knows how to save his stuff and make the charge at the late run.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, Ben. Edson's really, really good at tire conservation. I've watched him a couple of times in the past few weeks. He'll just let those tires ride, let the car ride and let it roll to the center. He won't push the issue coming on exit. And, he did lead a little while, but, once he came out of the pits in fourth there, he's just kind of taking it easy, biding his time, letting these guys wear their tough down a little bit. And I'm sure that midway towards this race, we'll see him charging back up to the front.
Certainly will. Top four are tail to nose, and they're having a good battle amongst themselves. But let's go back to the battle for fifth. Chad Cole has just been able to clear the number 66 machine of Tony Monge as we're looking out of the rear end of the number 82 machine with the Interstate batteries onboard shot. Watching this battle between Cohan and now Tony Monge. Cohan in the 21 there, working his way around the number 66, and now they go single file for the moment as they just try and log some more laps here at Rockingham. John, the longest run we've had so far tonight, and those tires are going to start slipping and sliding with the over 750 horsepower that these cars have, putting to the power every time they come off of turn number 2 and 4.
That's true, and I tell you what, I kind of wonder, Ben, how many guys in this field right now actually remember the real world races at Rockingham when we would see almost a 2 or 3 second drop between lap times in about 15-20 laps.
I don't know if we'll see quite that, but it'll be close, especially on the longer runs here at Rockingham as the leaders make their way up past the number 47, Patrick Colby, off the pace due to some early incident and has some damage on that number 47 Toyota Camry. The top four have paced themselves away from the rest of the field, John, but I'm keeping my eye on Chad Cole. He rides fifth right now with Nick Cohan sitting right behind him, and you give these guys 15 laps or so of nice, smooth racing, and they might have a chance to work their way up to the top four and challenge for a position on the podium.
He's only a tenth off of the leader's pace right now. His leader, speaking of which, Parker Kligerman at 75, he's got about a half a second lead over second place with Brian Macklin. So first through fourth have themselves almost a 1.4 second lead from that fifth place car of Chad Cole. But like I said, he's not too far off the mark as far as lap times go of the leader.
Check in with Boris Cook, driver number 63. He rides back in 24th, has some damage to the front end of that machine. You guys saw him on the Joe Gibbs Racing Facebook page. He was the host of the pre-race show. He was, giving us an example of how the track is going to feel and turning some laps at the Rock on the Interstate Battery Simulator there. Running 24th. Not the race he wanted, John, with that early race damage, but, always next week, always next Monday.
Yeah, and that was last week's Talladega winner in the K&N series they had. So this is kind of a step down for him, I guess. But with that nose damage, Ben, he's going to have to watch those temperatures in that car. These things are notorious for overheating when we get some nose damage, especially here where our track temperature is 99 degrees. So that's going to be something for him to keep an eye on if he wants to stay on the lead lap here.
That it is. Let's take a look at the Interstate Batteries weather at the track as it is right now. Partly cloudy, which is providing a little bit of shade for the track conditions. That's helping a little bit, but the air temperature 78, track temperature already up to 99 with north winds at 2 miles per hour. You mentioned that track temperature, John. If that continues to climb, this track going to get really, really slick over the next couple of laps as we are just past the quarter mark of this race, and Parker Kligerman has opened his lead up to almost a second over Brian Macklin.
I was just about to comment on that. He's really stepping out. His lap times, he's running, 24.2, 24.3. Consistent, real consistent. That's going to be the key here. You're at 24 flat on lap 25. It looks like, sorry, that's practice times I was looking at. Let's see. Yeah, he's running 24s right now. He started off with a 23.1 at this run, so that's not too bad. But yeah, he's stepping out, man. It's those second, third, and fourth. We got fourth place fighting with each other back here. Looks like Edson's tired of running around, waiting.
That he is, and he gets around the number 99, makes quick work of Tommy Ryan, does Trey Edson, and Edson now on the move in that number 10. as we work down the front straightaway, completing lap number 31, almost to the now 1/3 point of this race. We're doing a lot of math. We're learning a lot of math here tonight, so certainly glad you've tuned in to the Sim Racing Network's coverage of the Joe Gibbs Racing Sim Series powered by Interstate batteries. Whether you're watching on the Sim Racing Network YouTube page or the iRacing Esports Network, or tuning in on the Joe Gibbs Racing Facebook page, we thank you for doing so. NASCAR is in the off season, so now you're going to get your racing fix on Monday nights with the top sim racing drivers and some from the real world as well.
I tell you what, Edson, this is about the time of the race when he normally starts picking up his pace and moving forward. Not really picking up his pace. He can't really go faster, but definitely outpacing the cars that he's chasing right now. He's passed up the 99 there of, excuse me, Tommy Ryan, and he's got his sights set on Brian Macklin in a 30 car, and he's inching his way up there. Now, I don't know if he's got anything for Kligerman, but, he's definitely making his way up there.
That he is, and looking at timing and scoring, Edson last time by was quicker than Parker Kligerman. John, is at that moment of the run where you start trying to close in on Kligerman, or do you wait just a little bit longer as he makes a move to the inside of Brian Macklin and going to clear him real easily off turn 2?
I would say that answers your question right there, Ben. I'm guessing if this thing goes green to the end of the fuel run, we're going to see him passing up Kligerman for the lead. I've got a feeling that he's, like I said, we've said it in the past, he is a guy that takes care of his tires. He's taking care of them this run, and he is definitely doing faster laps than Kligerman. He made easy work of the last 2 cars he passed up, and he's definitely making up ground on Kligerman. So give it about another maybe, 10 laps, and we'll see him fight with Kligerman for the lead.
It's 1.4 last time with the challenge that Edson had to face with the number 30 of Brian Macklin as he closes to the flag stand. This time by, he has cut it down to 1.3, so about a tenth of that lap. Edson closing in on Parker Kligerman. And John, don't look now, we mentioned him a couple laps ago. Nick Cohan got around Chad Cole for 5th, and now he has closed up to the bumper of Tommy Ryan, challenging for 4th. And look, they are all the way up by the safer barrier down in 3 and 4, really making this track wide as the run goes on.
He got one heck of a run coming off the 4, using that outside line, cut it down to the left to pass up the 99 car. He's another one, takes care of his stuff, takes care of his tires for the longer runs. And if we continue to have long runs of this race, look for him and I'm sorry, excuse me, Trey Edson to be the top 2 to be battling for the lead.
So some spectacular racing going on here early on as we are just over 10 laps away from the halfway point. Kligerman able to open up the lead by about a tenth of that lap. So it's kind of like an accordion here, John. Edson will catch him one lap. Kligerman pulls away the next. Kligerman will be running into some lap traffic over the next couple of laps, though. That could play a factor into how quickly Edson is able to close in on that lead.
And we're just 10 laps away from the halfway point. So a lot of these guys are going to learn right about now how fun Rockingham can be to drive on old tires.
Most definitely. Next Monday night, it's going to be a fan vote. We're heading to Auto Club, Talladega, or Daytona, where the Toyota Tundra is used in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. So that'll be fun to see. Tune in 7 Eastern on the Joe Gibbs Racing Facebook page for the pre-race show to get your vote in on where you want to see these guys compete next Monday night.
I think it's a safe bet to say, Ben, that it'll probably be a plate track.
Got a 2 out of 3 shot.
Yes, I do. I like them odds.
Go ahead and start letting your friends know. If you haven't shared it with them tonight, be sure to do so, whether you're on the Facebook page or our YouTube, wherever you're tuning in tonight. Joe Gibbs Racing Facebook page. Share it with your friends. Be sure to like the video, comment. Let us know what you think about the racing so far. If you're a fellow iRacer, let us know what your strategy would be heading into the race tonight, and especially on this long run where the tires are starting to slicken up.
Hey, Ben. Don't look now, Ben, but Edson has pulled it under a second back from Kligerman for that lead.
And he is closing. We can now see it visually starting to close in as we are on board with the number 10 machine through 3 and 4. You see Kligerman getting ever so bigger and bigger in that windshield on the number 10. And John, as a driver, it's so easy. You know, Edson's trying to pace himself right now, but he can see Kligerman getting closer and closer. As a driver, you got to say, okay, hold on. The guy's getting close to me, but I've got to still conserve these tires, or I'm going to be slipping and sliding when I get to it.
That's an absolutely fantastic point you bring up there, Ben. And there's the added factor. This is Parker Kligerman. This is a name that's in NASCAR in the real world. So there's that added factor. Man, if I can pass this guy up, I'm showing the world something here, you know. So if I were him, I'd be freaking out right now. But that's just me, you know. But he's catching Kligerman in a hurry. He really is.
That he is. Kligerman may have used this stuff up a little bit too much too early, or he could be saving for an even longer run. Look at him right in front of the leader, though. The lap traffic is 2 by 2, and this is going to create a very interesting factor as they close in on this lap traffic. Here comes Kligerman. He'll get to the 06 of Doug Sigmund first, then to Patrick Colby, then to Jonathan Lockhart, then to Chris Caboo. All 4 of these guys in a wad, and the leaders are closing in. Kligerman will be the first to get to him, and he's bringing Trey Edson. And don't look now, but Nick Cohan is up to 3rd, and I think we'll check with timing and scoring, but that 21 machine probably the fastest car on track.
That's what it looks like, Ben. I tell you what, I told you, if this thing goes long enough, Cohan and Edson are going to be the ones fighting for the lead. I mean, I got nothing against Kligerman. He's fast, but Cohan was fastest that time by, and he's definitely making up a lot of ground on this too, especially in the lap traffic.
Closed 3/10 last time by when the leaders were in the traffic there. Kligerman able to get a little bit of breathing room between he and the 10 machine now. We wonder if Edson has maybe used up his stuff trying to catch the 75. John, all of these factor into the play as we continue to progress on this long green flag run.
Now, I think what happened with Edson there, bud, I was watching it. There was a car that from one of the lap cars got squirrely, and I think he saw that and just checked up a little bit, make sure the guy wasn't going to spin in front of him. They're dealing with damage in slower race cars right now, so I think he's just taking it easy. He wants to pick the place to pass Kligerman, but he wants to do it without causing a problem for himself or anybody else.
That's very true. But while they're being easy and tiptoeing around these lap cars, Nick Cohan is running these two down like there is no tomorrow. 1.7 seconds last time at the line. So when we started watching Cohan, he was 2.5 back. This past time by at the line, 1.6.
Yeah, lap traffic starting to play a part for him as well. I mean, this is the point of the race. We've been going long enough for everybody to have to deal with a slower car at one point or another. But I think Cohen is handling himself pretty good. He's cutting that lead down inch by inch, 10th by 10th, as they say. And I think before much longer, if we stay green, it's going to be a heck of a fight for the lead.
Half down, half to go. Let's take a look at the RacingBids.com current standings. Parker Kligerman is on top of the leaderboard, at least for now, and he's being challenged by Trey Edson, who runs second. Third is Nicholas Cohan. Fourth, DeBrian Macklin. Tommy Ryan will round out the top 5. Donnie Leah is up to 6th. 7th is Chad Cole. Tony Mungie is 8th. Nick Silver is 9th, and Jason Jacoby rounds out the top 10. And here we go, just continuing to log laps. And I know personally, for being a racer on the iRacing service, John, that these tires are screaming right now. These guys have a handful.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now we've already got cars ducking down the pit road to get some fresh ones on. The 58 minimum almost caused an issue for our leaders when he bounced off the wall there right in front of Kligerman. But he didn't get down into him. He kept up on the wall and everything was okay. But we got guys coming on and off pit road right now. And so what you're going to have, Ben, is you're going to have guys with brand new tires, you know, driving almost a second and a half, 2 seconds faster than the guys that haven't pitted yet. So that's going to be fun to watch also.
That it will. So we'll begin to wonder, as Kligerman had a big wiggle off turn 4, and that allows Edson to close right up to the rear bumper of that Toyota Camry as they battle down into turn number 1 and 2. And here comes Edson. He has now caught the 75 machine. He's been there, but he hasn't been on the bumper this whole run. And now he has the ability to maybe run up there and tap the 75. Say, hey, I'm here. I'm ready to get by. My car's a little better on the long run than yours.
The iRacing version of Hi Neighbor. I'm going to run up and just tap the bumper a little bit. We've all experienced that a couple of times. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. I've got my eyes on that 6 car back there, though. He just came off the pit road with fresh tires, and I'm just wondering how he's going to handle him when he gets up here with the 10 and the 75.
Jonathan Lockhart, he was a lap machine, still is, due to the pit stop. But like you said, we'll see how the new tires compare to the old tires. He does have a little bit of damage from that earlier incident, so that may be slowing him down, at least for the time being. The challenge for the lead, the battle for the lead is still ongoing up at the front. Kligerman about 2 car lengths ahead of that number 10 of Trey Edson here at the Rockingham Speedway. You are watching the Joe Gibbs Racing Off-Season Sim Series, powered by Interstate batteries on the Sim Racing Network. Let's pause about 10 seconds for station identification. Welcome back to Rockingham Speedway. Caution is out for the second time, and it's the number 84 of Anthony Calantoni up in turn number 3 and 4. He's holding the brakes, at least for now, backwards up against the wall, bringing out the caution here on lap number 57.
Yeah, it looks like he just lost it all by himself there. Almost got contacted by another car that went zooming by there in front of the leaders. He locked his brakes down and kept up there waiting for everybody to pass by. That was close, though. That really was. Nice run. Yeah,
very, very close call, and that was just an incident of getting loose on the straightaway, John. That's how much wear these tires had on them. The guys were starting to break free at the end of the straightaways. That just shows you, how much wear these tires have taken over that about 50-lap span that we had under the green flag conditions. Pits are open, and, well, I'm not going to say surprisingly, John, because we figured everybody would be coming down.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. It's unfortunate for those that had already pitted, so that's going to trap a few cars lap down. I'm sure we'll have a few guys take the wave around, but yeah, I'm absolutely positive that nobody in the top 10 is like, oh, darn, a caution. I'm sure they're like, we need a caution now.
Oh, and problems for a couple of your leaders on pit road. Trey Edson cannot get in his pit stall correctly. That is going to ruin his race. Brian Macklin behind his race is over. So Parker Kligerman, easy victory off of pit lane here, and Edson finally gets that machine in the pit stall correctly here on the iRacing service. You gotta have your car in the box completely square. Can't be too far left, just like in real life. If you're too far left, pit crew can't get to the left side of your car. If you're too forward, you're going to get a penalty. Same thing with too far back, and Edson was just having problems getting positioned in his pit stall there, and it's going to cost him a plethora of positions on this restart.
That's unfortunate, too. But, again, if we get another long run like that, what was it, almost 45 laps, I believe, and he can stay out of trouble, I think he'll be okay. But, yeah, it's just unfortunate that he lost so many positions in the pits right there. He and Macklin both, as they run around and update scoring here. We'll find out how far back they're going to drop, but I'm sure it's going to be out of the top 10.
They might be lucky to circulate inside the top 20 after that as we wait for scoring to update. It looks like Edson will be scored 13th and Brian Macklin 16th. So,
ouch.
Man, oh man, from 2nd to 13th for Edson, from about 4th to 16th for Brian Macklin. And that just shows you how important and how crucial the pit stops are here at Rockingham.
Yeah, Ben, we've seen it time and time again in the Sim 500 Racing League and their K&N series, these guys with their pit issues. So, I mean, it's no surprise, and it's like you said, that's the realism of iRacing. They want it to make as realistic as possible for you. So, there's penalties and goof-ups in pit road all the time.
That there is. So glad you've tuned in to join us here tonight on the Sim Racing Network, broadcasting live to Joe Gibbs Racing Facebook page. Be sure to share the live feed with all of your friends. If they're having racing withdrawals over the winter months, this is a perfect opportunity for them to get their NASCAR fix in over the course of the off season. Lights are off. TopTheIRacing.com Ford Mustang pace car. The top 5 going to look a little different as we get set for the restart. Parker Kligerman, Nick Cohen, Tommy Ryan, Chad Cole, and Nick Silver. The top 5 as we get set for a restart. Now, John, with under 40 to go, is it go time?
Don't make me answer that. Every time I answer that question, they do the exact opposite. However, I will make a prediction. I predict that Kligerman's going to go when the green flag drops.
I hope he does, or we'll have a big stack up. Here we go. Set to go back racing. 39 laps to go when we get to the flag stand. Pace car back to pit road. 2x2 the field is. We are back underway in the JGR Off-Season Sim Series powered by Interstate batteries. And down into turn number 1, Parker Kligerman going to get an early lead and a battle for second behind.
Yeah, the 21 of Cohen spun his tires on that start there. Kind of bottlenecked the outside line right there. So it's going to give Tommy Ryan a chance to sneak in there, take second place away, followed by Cohen, and then it looks like Chad Cole.
Had some, as you like to say, wiggly loose cars off of turn number 2 there, John. Everybody kept it straight, though. Had some fantastic saves through the back of the field there as we go back to a battle for around the 5th spot. Donnie Leah holds on to it, at least for the time being. He was being challenged there by Nick Silver in that number 15 machine. And here comes the battle for third. Chad Cole to the inside of Nick Cohan. Nick Cohan uses that outside line to his advantage. Man, he is really making that outside line work here tonight at the Rock.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Cohen's just playing with him a little bit there. He's going up and opening that door on the inside, knowing full well that Cole's not going to be able to make that cut, not going to be able to make that pass in turns. The outside line's coming in now. We've been running long enough in the green. There's a lot of good rubber up there, and as you can see, that 21's really making it work for him.
Watch the run. He'll get off and big run down the front stretch for Cohan. John, you're just able to keep your momentum wound up around the top side. You don't have to slow down so much to make that tighter turn around the bottom, and that's really what Cohan is doing down in 3 and 4. He's making that outside line. He's keeping the car wound up. He moves down to the bottom to see if there's anything down there in 3 and 4. And you see he gets on the gas there a little early. He's not used to running that bottom groove. Here comes the battle for 5th between Donnie Leah. I'm sorry. Yeah, that is Donnie Leah in the 18 machine. He gets around the 82 of Chad Cole, and Donnie Leah for the first time. Haven't spoke much of him, but he's on the move.
Yeah, Cole got real loose coming off the turn there. Good save on his part. Good thing for Donnie to stay out of his door. It was hairy for a second there, but he's back going forward. It's just, a product of getting on the gas a little too hard there. It looked like he just wiggled real bad coming out of 4.
Whoa, and as did Donnie Leah off to a big wiggle by the number 18 machine. On a good save by the driver there as close call down the backstretch off turn 2. Turn 2 tightens up so fast, John, that you have to turn the wheel so much more. And when you do so, that breaks the traction when you get on the gas and you get straight there.
Yeah, I got a great battle going on here between the 18 and the 82. Leah's got it. Cole wants it in the 15th, poking his nose in to see if he can grab it too.
Donnie Leah on the outside in 3 and 4 will get the run down the front stretch and clears the 82. And here comes Nick Silver poking his nose to the outside of Chad Cole. So Nick Silver sees the outside line starting to come into play and tried it there in 1 and 2. Just couldn't quite get the run through the center of the corner that he needed in that number 15 Toyota Camry. But down in the turn number 3 and 4, Chad Cole trying to set his sights back on that 18 machine. A battle from 4th on back as the top 3 begin to pull away and kind of set sail again here at the Rock.
And you got Mike Kelly in the 2 car. He's pushing his way up in there also. He wants to be a part of this. I'll tell you what, this is looking pretty fun right here. Kind of wish I was down there.
As do I. Some exciting racing from 4th on back. These guys duking it out, and they're all challenging for that top 3 podium finishers. All 3 of these guys are going to get some hefty amount of iRacing credits at the end of the night, thanks to iRacing.com and Donnie Leah. How about that? We're not dirt tracking racing yet. That's going to come a little bit later in the season, but with that move right there, Donnie Leah might be a favorite.
I'll tell you what, though, he keeps that up. He's going to wear them tires off because when you're sliding like that on Rockingham, you're eating your tires up. That's a fact, folks. But, yeah, I'll tell you what, that was impressive is what that was.
Donnie Leah sideways, but maintains the 4th position. I don't think he lifted the whole time down the backstretch when that car was as sideways as it was. They continue to battle there back up front. It is Nick Cohan who has moved back up to the top shelf of the racetrack, and he has closed in on Tommy Ryan. Look at him get the run off the turn. Oh, he tagged the apron there, but it kind of helped turn the car a little bit off the corner, and here comes Cohan making that outside groove work. Under 30 laps to go, closing in on 25 here at Rockingham.
Man, I tell you what, if this continues to go green, we know we're going to see that 21 up there. battling for the lead because he was so strong that long run. Just saying, look, he loves that apron. That's the second time he's done that, make that car turn.
Anybody else in the field, John, they'd hit that apron and, you know, spin out and wreck a couple cars behind him. Nick Cohan's using it to his advantage. It's making him faster. Look at the run. He gets off turn 4.
Yeah, it's an amazing run. I tell you what, from personal experience, the apron has sent me so hard into the wall. I did a Tommy Houston a couple of times.
And that's not a good Tommy Houston. Not a good Tommy Houston.
I don't know if anybody remembers that back in '96. I think it was when Houston tagged the outside wall at Rockingham and just barrel rolled down the backstretch. It's something we don't see very often at Rockingham, super speedway type of crash like there. But look at this challenge for the second spot. The 21 car has really been working that outside room through outside groove for the turns, making it work for him and getting great runs coming off the turns right here.
It's really fun to watch Cohan on that outside line. Watch him all the way, almost up to the safer barrier. Down in 3 and 4. Tommy Ryan gains on him in the center of the turn, but Cohan closes right back up to his bumper. And down into turn 1, he had to get out of the throttle. He had to check up or he would have hit the back end of the number 99.
I think I think Ryan saw him coming and did that on purpose, trying to break his momentum. Didn't work, though, because Cohan gets a heck of a run coming out, too, on the outside line and takes second place away from him.
Cohan to the lead, and John, he's coming off of he had a spectacular season in Sim 500's Monday Night Money Series this past season in the 2018 year. Didn't make it to the Final Four, only missed it by a couple of points. He probably had a chance to win the championship, and he's got all that in the back of his head. He's saying, man, I had a chance to win the championship there. Now I'm going to come out. I'm going to run down Parker Kligerman here in race 1 in the Joe Gibbs Racing off-season sim series. I'm going to win this deal and put me on a wave of momentum heading through this season and into the 2019 season as Cohan.
I think you're in his head because that's exactly what he's doing right now, Ben. He is definitely catching the 75 of Kligerman. He's definitely making that outside groove work really good for him, and I like what he's doing there. He's going in high, arcing it down through the middle, coming out low on the turn of turn 2, which keeps him off that wall coming out of that turn. Look at this. Man, he's really getting some speed on that.
Closed a 1/10 of a second, and we didn't need to tell you that because you could visually see it close down the front stretch. We ride on board with the Interstate Batteries onboard cam with Parker Kligerman on board with your leader, looking at the 21 who is closing that gap down. Watch him close up off turn number 4 with that big run down the front stretch. Here he comes, Cohan closing in on Kligerman in the final 20 laps here at Rockingham.
I am really surprised that the 75 car has not moved up to take that line away, or at least try it, see if we can get the same kind of speed, because he's just giving up a lot of ground to Cohen on the outside there. That's just really shocking that he hasn't moved up to try to take that line away from him.
He hasn't got to him yet. I think if Cohan gets within a couple car lengths, though, you might see Kligerman jump up to that top groove and take that line away. But Cohan, with the driver he is, he's a professional. He'll just go to the bottom and try and make it work. Look at the run off turn number 2. Cohan has caught Parker Kligerman down into turn number 3, and we've got a challenge for the lead.
Oh, man, that's awesome. I'll tell you what, Cohen's making that outside work. He's getting such a great run off the corners of 2 and 4 there. But he's got lap traffic ahead of him, Ben. I don't know how it's going to affect him. He's got, oh, my goodness, the 58 car almost got into him. That was really close. Kind of broke his momentum a little bit, but he's catching right back up to that bumper to 75.
Man, it didn't break a lot of momentum. He didn't lose any time to the number 75 machine. Now Kligerman moves up the track a little bit in 3 and 4. Kligerman loose off of turn 4. Here comes Cohan. He'll dive to the inside. A challenge for the lead with 17 to go.
29 for a pick. Oh, my goodness. 52, excuse me. And he takes the lead coming out at 2 in front of the 75. Got a new leader, 21.
Nick Cohan has taken the lead here at Rockingham, and I don't think he's going to look back. Here comes Kligerman trying to challenge back on the inside line, but he's not going to have the run off turn 4 that he needs. Cohan, new leader with 15 laps to go.
15 to go, but a lot of lap traffic, man. Anything can happen in these 15 laps. Cohen's got to be real careful right now how he weaves his way in and out of this traffic. I hope these guys see him coming, and I hope they don't interfere and be a part of this race that we're observing, man. This is going to be awesome.
15 to go. It was a long time. That's 15 miles. That's a distance from one city to another, John. In some cases, have we seen the last slowdown, the last caution of this race, or has Cohan used up too much of his stuff and Kligerman gets involved? A crash involving second place Parker Kligerman with the lap machine.
That is so unfortunate. I saw that guy up high, but I thought he was going to be out of the way. It looks like he might have got a little loose coming off of 2, came right down in front of Kligerman. That is so unfortunate.
Oh, man, as we get the replay pulled up for you, what a terrible, terrible break for Parker Kligerman. You know, John, I think he may have been saving a little bit. He wasn't letting Cohan get too far ahead. But, man, oh, man, it was the lap machine of Randy Yoakum got up into the wall, and Kligerman had nowhere to go, into the rear end of the brake machine. Yoakum goes around, caution comes out yet again here at Rockingham, just as we were talking about it, and that always seems to happen. It's the announcer's curse, it seems, here on the iRacing service.
So when Kligerman comes in here for his interview, I'm gonna point him in your direction.
Okay, I'll.
Since you
wasn't my fault, I promise.
He's got a lot of
just
heavy
calling the
damage
shots.
He's got a lot of heavy damage on that nose. I'm just wondering though, do you think he's going to stop and get it fixed, or is he going to take his tires and try and get back out and hope that he can get some sort of a top 3, top 4 finish?
Cohan makes a mistake on pit road, so if Kligerman is able to get 4 fresh tires and get out in front of the field, he might have a shot at it. We watch him on pit road, everybody jacking up the cars. Kligerman gonna let the jack down, and if I'm Kligerman, I just gotta go. I gotta go, and he's gonna win the race.
Oh, he beat him.
Kligerman wins the race off of pit road, and we'll restart this thing, John, with less than 10 to go. So if Kligerman has any speed left in that car, many times on the iRacing service we see a hit like that, and you lose a lot of speed. It damages the car. It damages the suspension. Even the motor sometimes, the radiator. You got to watch out for overheating with front end damage. If Kligerman has any speed left in the car, that slide through the box from Cohan lost him the race. If Kligerman has damage, then Cohan's going to just be able to drive around on the outside and set sail into the sunset, I do believe.
I absolutely agree 100% with you there, Ben. I tell you what, I feel so bad for Kligerman. He had a really good run going there, poised for at least a top 2, top 3 finish. But on the bright side, on the plus side for him, if there's any kind of a plus in this, they're going to restart with less than 10 to go. So if he can just get up and go and hopefully not overheat with the damage like you said, he may have a chance to pull this out, because we've seen it. The 21 isn't really a quick start car. He's a long run car. So we're going to see here shortly.
Most definitely. We'll remind the viewers or inform those that don't know, on the iRacing service, no green-white checkers. So if we have a caution within 5 or 4 laps to go, then the race is over. We're going to finish it under caution. So that's another thing these guys have to be thinking in the back of their minds too. Cohan, if I'm Cohan on this restart, I'm going to get around 75 as quick as I can, just in case that caution comes out and we don't restart this race.
Which brings up another question. What kind of mind games are we going to see on this restart from the 75 car? Checking up real slow, coming out of 4, then just gunning it. There's all kinds of options here. So this is going to be, I wouldn't say probably the most important restart, but I would definitely say it's probably going to be the most exciting restart we've seen tonight.
I think it's going to be the most important one of the night. With 10 to go, this will set up the finish of the race, no doubt. Whether we make it the whole 10 laps without another caution, or if we see a caution breed caution sort of deal. We have a little wiggle room for another caution within the final closing laps of this one, but keep in mind, when we get around 4 laps to go, there is a possibility that we will not restart the race and it'll end under caution. All that going through the minds of these drivers, and Parker Kligerman has damage. He doesn't know what his car is going to do. Cohan doesn't know how he's going to get around to 75. We'll find out how this race is going to end in 10 miles at the Rock. Race number 1 is closing down to the final laps, and the green flag is back in the air. We're back racing.
We had 2-3 cars spin their tires on that restart, but it gives Kligerman a shot to get into the lead, and he's going to have the 9-9 of Ryan fighting with Coleman on the outside for that second spot. Boy, I tell you what, looks like Kligerman's damage is slowing him down a lot there, Ben.
That is. Cohan was one of those drivers that spun his tires, but look at him send it into 3. I thought he was going to hit the wall. He sent it in so deep. Kligerman, the damage doesn't look to be too bad on that number 75. It is a short track, so that could help.
Oh.
Look at Cohen. He's sideways.
He's trying so hard, but that blew it right there. That's the end of the race for him. He's going to drop back. He's going to lose at least 4, maybe 5 spots. Give Kligerman clean air and on that nose. The 99's got clean air on his nose to try and get up there and make a fight out of this. But I think you're right. I don't think the damage on Kligerman's all that bad. But we're about to find out here. I think the 99's catching him pretty quick.
8 to go at the Rock as we are closing in on the checkered flag on race number 1 in the JGR Off-Season Sim Series. Tommy Ryan is closing in on the bumper of the 75 of Kligerman into turn number 3. A challenge for the lead is upcoming.
And don't forget, we've got the pole sitter, Trey Edson, who also lit a lot of laps in this race. He's peeking back there in third, so he might have something to say about who's going to win this race before it's over with.
He is. If the two leaders get together, Edson is in a prime position to make up some ground and possibly swing around them. It's been Parker Kligerman for the past 50 or so laps or more out in front of this field. Cohan passed him there on the final on that last run. There's some contact at the back of the field. One car sideways. We stay green for now as Tommy Ryan doing everything he can to chase down the 75 of Parker Kligerman, coming through 3 and 4. This time by at the line. Only 5 circuits remain.
Ryan is trying hard to get up there and make this a fight before caution comes out, but he slipped a little bit coming out of 4 right there, which gives the 10 car of Edson a chance to get up there and challenge for the second spot. And he is bringing the 82 car of Coleman with him.
If you're Edson, you can't waste too much time battling with Ryan here, or you're going to run out of time. Through 3 and 4, Kligerman loves what he's seeing out the mirror. He's got a 10, 15 car length lead with 4 to go here at the Rock.
Oh, yes, he's absolutely smiling right now. I guarantee you that he's checking his turns, checking his mirror, checking the turns, checking the mirror, because he's watching this fight behind him, watching this gap grow between himself and second, third. Oh, the 10 car gets out of shape there.
How about that for a save by Edson? And these guys continue to battle side by side. Parker says, go ahead. Second's more important than the lead at this point anyways. Edson, they're running tight there for second with 3 laps to go. Still side by side for the runner-up spot.
There is no give between any of these drivers right now. In second through 4th, they are all out there trying to get every position they can. And I'll tell you what, Ben, it's going to get dicey here the last couple of laps.
Coming up this time by Parker Kligerman, your leader, will receive the popsicle sticks at the flag stand. They're still duking it out for second. Now third is Edson finally going to clear the number 99 machine. A lap and a half left at Rockingham for Parker Kligerman. We thought his race was over when he got the damage from the lap machine on the backstretch, but he put the hammer down on the restart, has taken the lead. The battle from behind him has certainly helped that number 75 machine. He'll get the white flag. 1 lap to go.
I'll tell you what, he's got to be celebrating right now in that car. I mean, we all thought, like you said, that he was out of this race with that damage. He's got a half a lap now. They're on the backstretch, coming down to 3 for the last time. Kligerman in front. He's got the second place car of Trey Edson, maybe 5 car lengths behind him. I think if he just takes these 3 and 4, he's got this race wrapped up.
Race 1, JGR Off-Season Sim Series will go to Parker Kligerman at the Rock. Edson was able to close in, but not enough on the final lap. How about that? Parker Kligerman, the front end of that car looks like it was in a demolition derby, but it didn't slow him down, and he is victorious tonight at North Carolina's The Rock.
I'll tell you what, Ben, if this race is any indication of how the rest of the series is going to go, I'm going to need to double my blood pressure meds.
Oh, my, oh, my. He gets a congratulatory bump from Chad Coleman and Parker Kligerman on the front stretch here at Rockingham Speedway. He'll burn them down after a dominant victory here at Rockingham Speedway. We thought it was over there at the end of it, or on that last caution. We thought he wasn't going to have a shot, but the battling behind him certainly helped out, and Parker Kligerman going to head to victory lane in race number 1 of the JGR Off-Season Sim Series powered by Interstate batteries. My, oh my, what a finish and what a race, John, to start the season off.
That was That was awesome. That's all I can say, buddy. That was awesome. I tell you what, I am looking forward to the rest of the season. Like I said, if this is any indication of how the season is going to go, it's going to be excitement max all the way through.
That it is. So while we wait for the field to kind of sort themselves out, scoring to be official, we will we'll pause 10 seconds for station identification. We'll come back. We'll go quiet in the booth for just a minute or so, and then we'll talk to the podium finishers right after this. Welcome back to The Rock as we are just moments away from talking to the top three as we get ready to send it down to John Mushin, who is hustled down to pit road, and he's caught up with the driver of that number 99 machine, Tommy Ryan, who has finished third tonight. John?
Hello, race fans, and I've caught up with the driver of the 99 car, Tommy Ryan, in that Interstate Batteries Toyota Camry. Tommy, talk about your race line, man. Fantastic finish.
Yeah, I had to earn that one, man. I really thought I had a shot at Parker, and I was coming through 3 and 4, and I was going to be a little more patient, getting on the throttle so I didn't wash up so bad. And I got too far into the paint, and freaking the ass end just jumped out there, and I was hanging on, and Trey had a good enough run, and that just kind of did me in right there. But man, I was happy to finish third. It was a handful, man.
Well, is this your first time on the Rock in the Cup car?
No, it's not. But you get some laps on these tires, man. They get really greasy, and you got to be pedaling the thing, and you got to have a little bit of finesse in your right foot.
Well, I imagine that seeing the lead right there in front of you probably upped your adrenaline a little bit as well. Is there anybody you want to thank for your run tonight?
Oh yeah, man. Obviously thanks to Interstate Batteries. I mean, that was great seeing them on my car, man. I've been a big fan of Interstate and proud customer, but and then obviously Joe Gibbs Racing and Joey for putting this thing together with Gibbs to to put this whole thing on, man. It's a blast, man. It definitely ups your game.
Well, Tommy, again, congratulations on the third place run on the inaugural race of the series, and we hope that you have continued good luck next week, man. Thanks for your time.
All right. Appreciate it, guys.
All right, Ben, I'm going to go hunt down Trey Edson, our second place driver. I'll be right back.
Tommy Ryan finishing third tonight here at The Rock, and almost had a shot at the win. Now we're going to talk to John's going to talk to the driver who led quite a bit at the beginning of the race, got shuffled back due to some problems on pit road, came back, almost got to the bumper of Kligerman. What's he got to say, John?
I'm down here with Trey Edson. Trey, my man, that was a phenomenal run. You led some laps. You were the pole sitter. How do you feel about your run tonight, pal?
It's bittersweet, man. I know second's a good night, but a little frustrating. Like you guys mentioned, I kind of threw that one away on pit road twice. So I don't know if I'd have moved Parker. He's always raced me pretty clean in this league. So if I got there, I don't know what I would have done. But yeah, I'm sure that was. I don't know if y'all showed it, but I'm pretty sure that was entertaining. Trying to watch me get in my pit stall the second time. I was lost, but yeah, it was good night. Started pole, finished second. Can't ask for much more than a win. But yeah, I just kind of threw that one away. So it's bittersweet.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, Trey, you weren't the only one having some pit road issues. We had a few cars that slid into their box, slid out of their box, were too far forward, too far left, stuff like that. But it's the rock, and that's what happens here. I noticed that you were really good on the long runs. Was that your strategy? Was just to try to take care of those tires and make the car good on long runs?
Yeah, it's always kind of been what I've done at Rockingham. I can obviously, based off qualifying, I can hot lap it if I need to. But I was just kind of hoping it stays green. I've always been pretty decent at saving tires, especially here. So that one good run we got was, I think it was like 40 or 50 laps. I think I ran Parker down from 2 seconds back. So I think I was like a half a second, or a tenth and a half to 2/10 better a lap. But once I got to the bumper, I couldn't do anything with him. So that's just how tough it was to pass tonight. Usually Rockingham will spread out and you got options. It kind of moved around. You could run the third groove and make time. But again, it was just, you really couldn't pass anyone. So that was rough, but back to your question. Yeah, I try to kind of roll the yellow line and save that right front.
Well, Trey, again, congratulations on a phenomenal second place run, great pole run. Is there anybody you want to thank for your run tonight?
Yeah, just everybody that's got a hand in this series: Interstate Batteries, Toyota, Joe Gibbs Racing, you guys, Joey at Sim 500. It's going to be a fun little winter deal. I'm not sure what to expect when we start getting in these other types of vehicles, though. I can't say I'm going to be running second when we get on the dirt or the midget, whatever that thing's called. That's going to be should be fun for you guys. I don't know how much fun it's going to be for us.
I tell you what, I've run some dirt midget races, and all I got to say is hold on. It's going to be fun. Well, Trey, thank you for your time. Again, congratulations on a phenomenal second-place run. And if I'm not mistaken, Ben Kilcrease is standing by with our race winner in the Old Schools Graphics and Designs Victory Lane interview.
I am. Caught up with Parker Kligerman down here after just a spectacular race is about the only word I can think to describe it. Man, oh man, Parker, I got to ask, have you seen the nose of your car?
Yeah, that was unfortunate. I actually, those last 10 laps, especially like 5 to go, the oil temp was skyrocketing, and it was red, and it was about to hit 300, and so like the last 2 laps, I was just running part throttle, hoping it wouldn't blow up, hoping Trey wouldn't catch me, and it worked out. But that was really nerve-wracking those last couple laps. What a race!
What a race indeed. We were worried about all the damage on the front end with the overheating issues, a possibility. Talk about that moment. You're challenging for the lead, closing in on the last 10 or so laps of the race, and then all of a sudden you're wrecked on the backstretch. What was the thoughts going through your mind there? You're thinking, man, my race is over.
Yeah, I mean, Nicholas Cohan did a great job. He found that outside line, and I was wondering how he was catching me because the run before that, I was able to get a nice gap, and then Trey was really fast at the end of the run, really fast. But I felt like, I kind of had things in check, and running the bottom line was the best place to be. But then that last or second to last run, Nicholas found that outside line, and he was rolling, and I was like, oh no, I got to figure something out here. So once he got by, I was like, all right, well, I see what he's doing. I'll just mimic it and see if I can, get back to him, because I felt like I'd saved some tires. And right as, was figuring that out, the lapper came off the wall, hit me, and I thought, oh no, we're damaged, we're done. Well, there goes this race. And then, we were able to win the race off pit road. My pit crew was on it all night. The zeros and ones on pit road did a great job, those virtual crews. And, once I had the lead, it was just, as I said, managing that engine temp in that last 10-lap run. But definitely, I mean, it was a fun race. I felt like there was a lot of, difference between guys that went really fast at the beginning, guys that went fast at the end of a run, how you saved your tires. It was really tough. I mean, I'm sweating a ton.
I can imagine you guys put on a heck of a show for us and for all the fans watching on the Joe Gibbs Racing Facebook page. Man, oh man, we head to either Auto Club or a plate track next week in the Toyota Tundras. We're really looking forward to that, and really looking forward to the rest of the season with all the mix up, and hopefully we'll see you back here in the top 3 or even in victory lane for some of those races coming up.
Well, yeah, no, awesome that Joe Gibbs Racing, Interstate Batteries, Toyota, everyone that puts this on. Boris, he does a great job with it. I watched a little bit of his broadcast there and that sweet rig he's got at Joe Gibbs. So glad to see people investing in sim racing and trying to, bring new eyes and new people to the sport. And, just thankful that they let me participate because it's a lot of fun. But I won't be here next week. I'm going to the Bahamas, but I'll be there for the next week after that. So I'll give you guys a reprieve for next week.
There you go. Who do you want to thank for putting you in victory lane tonight, Parker?
Well, it's just always the zeros and ones, man. We got virtual crews on these sim racing cars, so you just got to thank the computers and the coders and the people that make it happen. But no, I just like to say it's really cool to see people, as I said, investing in sim racing and doing things like this. This is the only way this sport's going to grow, and I think the more people more eyes that we can show it to, the more people we can interest in it, and I hope to see more and more things like this.
There you have it. Parker Kligerman, enjoy the Bahamas. We'll see you the week after next.
Thanks, guys. Great broadcast.
Thanks, Parker.
Parker Kligerman, NASCAR's Parker Kligerman in victory lane tonight here in the Joe Gibbs Racing off-season sim series. And my, oh my, John, what a race here at the Rock. It certainly didn't disappoint. And for all you fans out there that voted for Rockingham, good job. You picked the right one.
Absolutely, man. That's again, that's one of my favorite tracks to run on, but it's so much fun to watch a race on this track. I've seen everything from the cup cars, trucks, to street stock to run at the Rock. Always entertaining, always fun. I kind of miss, and it was Andy Hillenberg on that track for a while. He ran that street stock annual race. It was so much fun to watch. It's just a blast. But Ben, man, how about tonight, buddy? Huh?
All in all, man, great race. Had some long green flag runs, which really made the drivers work for every position on the track with the slipping and the sliding around on those old tires. I really enjoyed the show tonight. What a race here at the Rock. Let's take a look at the Racing Bids final finishing results tonight, John. Parker Kligerman, of course, coming home with the victory there. He held off Trey Edson and Tommy Ryan, who were duking it out there in that final run, which probably gave Kligerman a slight bit of advantage and helped him get out ahead of the field. Fourth was Chad Cole, Mike Kelly fifth. Sixth to Nick Silver, Chad Coleman came home seventh, Josh Parker eighth, Scott Simley ninth, and Doug Roth rounded out the top 10. The rest of the field, going to scroll across your screen there. Those we get set to back up from the Rock, John. We'll head to, like I said, either Auto Club, Talladega, or Daytona next Monday night in the Toyota Tundras, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series trucks. So that's going to be fun. Be sure to tune in 7:50 p.m. Eastern on the Joe Gibbs Racing Facebook page next Monday night for the pre-race show. John, as we get set to head out of Rockingham tonight, any final thoughts?
Well, let me see. My mind is blown by how fun the racing was tonight, man. But it's probably a good thing that PK is going to the Bahamas next week, because if we're going to be at Daytona, he might have flashbacks from a particular race that we both bear witness to. But I tell you what, Ben, like I said earlier so many times, if this race tonight was any indication of what we're in for the rest of this amazing series season, it's just going to be a blast. And I really want to thank Joe Gibbs Racing Interstate Batteries Sim 500 for allowing us to be a part of this. The entertainment value alone is just, it's off the charts. I'm really having a blast, man. I really am.
That it is. Very fun, and we thank everyone for tuning in tonight on the Joe Gibbs Racing Facebook page, the iRacing Esports Network, and our YouTube, the Sim Racing Network. So, for everybody here at the Sim Racing Network, John Mushton, Mitch Rolo, I am Ben Kilcrease. Send a big shout out to Sim 500. Joe H. and the guys do a fantastic job over there. Check them out, sim500.com. I want to give a big shout out to Interstate Batteries for coming on board and sponsoring this series this off season. And a big shout out to Joe Gibbs Racing for hosting this whole deal and providing some off-season racing during the NASCAR off-season. That's it from Rockingham Speedway tonight. We'll see you next Monday night for race number 2. 7:50 p.m. Eastern is when pre-race gets kicked off. We'll see you then. Good night from Joe Gibbs Racing.